What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So we're going to do a quick update here. President Biden is dropping out of the race. So he will continue to be president until January 20th of 2025, but he will not be running for president any longer. And he is endorsing Kamala Harris. And so that doesn't mean that she's automatically the nominee. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to see next when it comes to the Democratic Party. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let me take a look at some of the headlines here. And just so you guys know, if you watch my video on Thursday, I believe it was Thursday video, I talked about the fact that President Biden will be stepping down. And I was anticipating that he would do it at the end of day Friday, because usually that's when you put all the information out there. The news dump is what they call it. So I was thinking he would do it Friday. But he didn't do it Friday. He waited until Sunday, which I understand. There's no rush at that point. Once the weekend's here, there's no rush to get the story out. But you definitely want to get it out before Monday, because that's when people are going to start, the press comes back and starts asking the questions again. And so he gave it a weekend to really look at it. And the main reason that I thought that he was, or knew that he was done, is when he got COVID and they had him going on the plane on Air Force One and then coming down off Air Force One, and they had footage of this. And the footage was up close. And I was telling you guys at that time, optics is everything. And they were allowing, and when I say they, I'm talking about the Biden campaign was allowing the press to be so close, watching President Biden go up and down the stairs, and you saw he was very slow at going up and down. And obviously he had COVID, so that could be the reason why he was very weak. But why would they allow that? They didn't have to, and they had that perfect opportunity to say, no, he's fine. They could have had him sitting behind a desk talking about his condition if they wanted to do that. But actually showing that footage, at that point I knew, okay, this is it. It's over. Because they would not allow that if they wanted to move forward with the campaign. And so I think it was done already on Friday. I think they realized on Friday that it's not going to go any further, and they just waited until Sunday to formally announce this, get everything together, because they had to. When it comes to the campaign, now you have President Biden. He's going to be on the phone. He's going to be talking to the people who supported him, the donors who supported him, and all of the infrastructure when it comes to running a campaign. He had to talk to those people and then set something up for Kamala Harris. And so that's what I think was going on over the weekend. So what happens now? Well, we're going to be looking at a situation where looks like we'll have an open convention. And so Kamala Harris has been endorsed by President Biden, but she doesn't automatically win the delegates. The delegates are going to be the ones that are going to vote for who is going to represent the Democratic Party. And the delegates will be at the convention. And so you're going to have some candidates, and we'll probably see some candidates. I'm not for sure now. Kamala Harris she's obviously the front runner at this point. But you'll probably see some other candidates throw their hat in the ring. And at that point, now we're going to have to see who is who's best for the job. And when I say we, I don't mean we, the people. I mean the delegates are the ones that are going to decide who the next nominee will be. So it'll be interesting. I mean, this is a crazy couple of weeks, or I'll just say a month. Ever since the debate, things have really been shaky. And we've been seeing, every week there's something new to talk about. And so we'll see how the Trump administration responds to this, because this is going to be very interesting as well. Because the Trump campaign, they've been focusing their attention on President Biden. And now they're going to have to pivot. And actually, at this point, they don't even know who the nominee is going to be for the Democratic Party. So they're still struggling. Of course, they're going to probably go after Kamala Harris. They've already been doing that a little bit, but we'll see more of that. And they still don't know if Kamala Harris will be the nominee. So it's going to be hard for them to maneuver when it comes to this, because they really don't have anyone to run against. and to talk, to look at their record and all of that. Now, another thing I want to talk about, and this is very important as well, Kamala Harris has been vetted. So she's gone through that process. If they pick someone else, if the delegates pick someone else, that person might not have been vetted, or they haven't been vetted on a national stage. They might have been vetted, running, because they're talking about different governors out there. They might be looking the delegates might be looking to vote for certain governors in certain states is really what they're looking at. Shapiro in Pennsylvania, someone that is probably a front runner at this point. So you have Kamala Harris as a front runner, and then you have someone else that's being mentioned. Shapiro would be one of those people, mainly because of the fact that he's in Pennsylvania, and they think that he would be a strong candidate. And so I'm going to follow this story, and I'm going to make sure you guys know what's going on when it comes to who is going to be the nominee. But we're going to have to wait. It's a waiting game. The National Convention will be in August, so we have just a couple of weeks. We're going to be really looking at this situation and trying to figure out what the Democrats are going to do as far as moving forward. But just really, really chaotic right now when it comes to our political process. And we'll have to see. Another thing that I just thought about right now, debates. Will we see a debate with the new nominee and former President Trump? Will that happen? And then who's going to be the vice presidential nominee? That's something else. So all in all, I mean, I think for the Democrats, this will energize them. You saw the Republicans get energized after that incident that happened at the Trump rally, and now the Democrats will get energized because now they can really look at some new candidates. And I just think when it comes to President Biden, people were thinking that he was going to just do 4 years, and they realized, look, he's getting older now, it's showing, and there were a lot of people that were just uncomfortable, and they weren't energized about going to vote for President Biden or vote for former President Trump. It was like they didn't know who to vote for at this point because there was no real energy there. And like I said, after that situation with former President Trump, now you have his base energized, and it looks like the Democrats will get energized to vote for a new nominee for president. So I want to know what you guys think about all this. Let me know in the comments below. Also, one more thing before I go, because all this stuff is just going through my head. The Republicans, at least they're talking about right now, taking this to court. So is this legal? And so they're trying to look at that aspect. But we'll have to see. That'll probably get tied up in the courts for some time. But I guess you have to look at, there's really no, you can say, is it legal? Maybe getting them on the ballot, that kind of stuff, that you can argue that. But the reality is, if a candidate decides, I don't want to run, or I'm too sick to run, there has to be, you have to have a replacement. Okay, so the Republicans can try to fight this as much as they want, but all President Biden has to say is, look, I'm not physically able to run. I'm not healthy enough to run. So he can use that. And worst case scenario, if they try to put this in the courts, then he can just step down as president right before the election, or I won't say right before, but he could step down before the election, and then Kamala Harris automatically becomes the nominee. She becomes the president, so she would be the nominee running for 4 more years. So I want to know what you guys think about all this. Let me know in the comments below. Like I said, if you have any questions, also let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.